The money for contingency plans is sitting there. That is why the states are suing. The White House is withholding funds from
2 to 3
children
weeks worth
to
of SNAP
have
funds.
food.
So Representative Stansbury absolutely killed it in this debate with Jake Tapper as he regurgitated Republican talking point after Republican talking point. But there's a couple things I want to hit on that she didn't get to address because Jake was too busy deep-throating the GOP line so hard that he ignored everything she said and reality in general for, I don't know. He dismissively says 2 to 3 weeks worth of funds like that's nothing.
My point is that it's a short-term solution.
Jakey, 2 to 3 weeks isn't nothing. The longest government shutdown in American history went 35 days. We are currently on day 29 of this shutdown. If we use those contingency funds, that puts us nearly 3 weeks past the longest government shutdown in American history, which coincidentally happened during Trump's first term. The chances of this going on past that point are insanely small. So the only reason to withhold these contingency funds right now would be to punish people, to punish families, to punish children for daring to speak out against Trump. That's it. That's the only reason. And Jay can go himself for dismissively framing 2 to 3 weeks like it's nothing. Poor kids having food to eat isn't nothing.
Well, it may not be a big deal to you, but let me tell you that for the grandparents, for grandparents that literally are feeding their children.
And second, and Jake, I need you to really hear this. Republicans have control of both houses right now. They could easily use the nuclear option in the Senate to get this passed whenever they want. Marjorie Taylor Greene, who nobody is confusing as a liberal shill, is saying as much.
We control the House. We control the Senate. We have the White House. I've been vocal saying, you can use the nuclear option in the Senate.
But they won't. You know why? Because then they would be solely responsible for the millions of people who lose their health insurance as a result of it passing. The millions of people who will die as a result. And just as a reminder, the majority of those people, they're Republicans. They're Republican voters. Let me paint you a picture here. Imagine being a parent right now. Imagine looking at your kids and having to explain to them why there's no food this week. Not because you didn't work hard enough, not because you made bad choices, but because politicians in Washington are holding your family hostage. They're threatening to starve your children so that they can strip away your health insurance. That's the literal debate happening right now, Jake. That's the actual dystopian nightmare we're living through. Republicans are threatening to starve children so that they can take away health care from the poorest, most vulnerable people in our society. And you're sitting there acting like Representative Stansbury is being unreasonable for pointing out that the contingency funds exist. This isn't a both sides issue. This isn't Jake's cowardly, well, Democrats need a compromise too bullshit. This is Republicans literally holding millions of Americans hostage and threatening to let them starve and die unless they get their way. And if you can't see that, and if you're unwilling to say that out loud on your show, then you're just as bad as they are.